Well, the course has been broken down into different modules, and the objective of doing so is to have less chunk of information to reach out to you. In this entire video, I'm going to give a blueprint of the entire course. In fact, what are the projects that we're going to build? Which all areas for Flutter we will be covering, and what to expect from the entire course will be highlighted in this particular video. Tune in into the session to find out what this course will actually benefit to you. Let's understand the entire module wherein we are going to have all the things that we are going to cover in this entire course that I'll be discussing in this particular video. I'm going to keep the things very crystal clear so that you have an exact idea of what you are going to expect from the course and also what should be the number of projects that you're going to work upon. The very first module is going to deal with Dart and in fact a bit of Flutter basics. We're going to start off by creating a very small timer app project. In fact, the timer app project would be very similar to the stopwatch timer app that you would be having onto your phones. Moving ahead, we're going to create a simple calculator app. Now, comparing it to the present day calculator, which has got a lot of features, our calculator would be having just 4: addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Well, that's because keeping in mind we're at module A, wherein you would not be very acquainted with the Dart knowledge. Hence, I'm going to teach to you with the help of basics how you'll be creating a very simple calculator. Then, moving ahead, we're going to try and do swipeable views. So probably if you would have noticed WhatsApp or in fact any kind of an app, it would have a scrolling behavior, be it Instagram to be it your Facebook. There's hardly any app that would not have the scrolling behavior. Over here, I'm going to show to you how you can have those scrollable components getting added into your app. Moving further, I'm going to get you your hands on to device hardwares. In fact, we'll be using camera app, that is your camera, to create shooting images app and recording videos app, wherein you'll be having live resolutions and in fact the nitty-gritties for permissions to get discussed. Then we'll be trying to use third-party plugins like Google Maps and create a very simple GPS location app. Do you notice something on provider state management? Well, if you try to do Google about kind of state management approaches that Flutter offers, well, there would be plenty of them. I'm going to take the provider state management, which is the popular method of state management. In fact, we're going to discuss in much more details how you can have good state handling like loading, displaying the data and displaying error messages into your app. Going to the module C, we will start with offline app creation. You would have seen your WhatsApp to work without internet. That's you can browse through all the previous chats that you would be having with your friends. How does that thing get created? In fact, I'm going to get you introduced to NoSQL. If you're hearing this term for the first time, it's absolutely okay. That's because you would be frequently coming across big data and in fact Apache kind of a technologies, wherein you'll see that this concept which existed on the web is slowly being adapted to mobile. In fact, I'm going to show to you how difference or how much difference NoSQL can create when it comes to the traditional SQL. In colleges or in fact when you're trying to do university education, you should have come across SQL. If not, this is a perfect starting point in order to learn not only SQL but also an extension to SQL called as NoSQL. Now, the module D introduces you to the APIs. You would hardly see any app to not get communicated with the server. Well, in this module, we're going to create a dummy e-commerce app. In fact, that e-commerce app is going to get data from a server, show the list of products, and then try to do a bit amount of e-commerce handling on the app front. Moving to the module E is Firebase. You'll probably use the Firebase services which are very popular, like authentication, cloud storage. When it comes to Firebase, and if you have any startup idea, I can guarantee you your MVP for the app can get created with the help of Firebase, that too at 0 rupees cost. Firebase has tons of services. I'm going to show to you how with the help of Firebase you can actually create an app with a server that is exactly linked to your Gmail account, and you are going to create at absolutely no cost. It offers Gmail authentication, storage, and in fact even image storage. It's absolutely a bliss when it comes to startups. Hopefully the beautiful explanation for the entire outline for the course now drives a purpose within you. Stick to the purpose, as the app development journey is not going to be so tiring. That's because on different modules you're going to find into different paths. Starting with the next session, I'm going to get you introduced to the coding and in fact the tools that you'll need for this coding. I'm going to dig into what all you have to download and what all you have to be prepared into your app development. Stay tuned and keep learning with Hoping Minds.